Alright, welcome back, guys. After talking to Greg and showing him what happened, I've worked this out, but I have to say, I don't like it. And Greg seriously needs to get us a regular power system so we can quit having to use this borked out freaking IC2 one. Because hopefully that'll fix his goofy, everything needs to be at a weird tier. If you look at the recipe for a tiny stainless steel pipe or anything of stainless steel, it's 96 GU a tick, which is Greg units because people were not understanding why EU wasn't working, which means that it needs to be powered with 96 times 2 because everything is split in half when you put it through a heater or one of these other power devices. So 128 is not enough to do that. You have to have 2 CESUs connected to it to ramp it down low enough to be at the 96, or actually it's going to be a little bit above. So if I turn this on, you'll see that now it is actually working to get this done. And I seriously hope when he adds a regular power system that it'll go with his weird idea for power tiering that he has now. There's a lot of things that people complain about with Gregtech 6, and I don't understand 90% of what they're complaining about. I love the new system. I like the machines that we have and the way they work, the way that you have to build, input, output, machine, power, all that good stuff. But I do not understand why, unlike the other machines that are 16, so the 32 is split in half and it works, why this has to be 96. If this would have been 64 rather than 96, wouldn't have had a problem with it. Because the way I understand it is anything above the called for recipe is going to overclock it. So if it's at 64 and it's split in half from the 128, that would be a nice even cut, no overclocking whatsoever. But you can't give an exact 96 to it unless you're going to do some weird thing with bat boxes and CSUs powering it, which is just weird. The other thing I wanted to show is rubber wood now, to be centrifuged, has to be shredded down into rubber wood pulp. And then if you take this rubber wood pulp and you put it in your squeezer, it will then get squeezed. I know Greg loves it when I say squeezed because that's not proper English or proper grammar, but that's bear language there. Thank you. And it is proper in my language. So pop all these in here and let it go to town. Now it's going to pop them out over here, and I don't have a chest over there because I never originally set up for this to be doing this, so I'm probably going to have to get me a chest over there to collect the actual wood pulp that comes out, which currently doesn't have a whole lot of use because he didn't put the recipe for compressed wood in, and I don't know if he is or if he isn't. I hope he is, just because XAR absolutely detests the texture of it, and I like to drive him crazy with it, so I need to have it so I can drive him crazy, because that's kind of what I do. Now, the big thing I've been working on, now that we got that done, is getting my steam power set back up. Now, I have my distillery here running. And seeing as how we don't have any pipe conveyor modules for our pipes, I've decided to set this up. It's just a hopper minecart with wooden booster tracks and red alloy wire. This is from Red Logic. Greg's red alloy wire will work too, but I had this laying around, so I figured why not use it. And then I just have a redstone torch at the end to power the red alloy wire. And the hopper goes underneath and collects the ash out of each one of my burning boxes here, and then there's a hopper here, so it drops all the ashes into here. Now what I want to do eventually, because I'm still in the process of working this all out here, is get a dust funnel to put underneath, because this is all going to be powered mainly by charcoal. So it's only going to be putting out ash. And as of right now, the distillery is taking care of keeping everything full of water. If you look back here, this is reading the pipe behind it, and it's staying right at 1200. I've been lighting each one of these individually, letting them run a little bit. That way I can kind of monitor the water usage and make sure that the steam pipes that I have up top can handle the bandwidth, and to make sure that the distillery can keep up with the distilled water. And so far it's doing a pretty daggone good job. Now next thing I need to do is take these low pressure boilers off, upgrade them to high pressure so they can deal with the creosote that's being made outside. And as you see, with those three Invar boilers and one steam, I'm at about 50% on my turbine. So the other two will not take me over it, which is good. I won't be creating excess. And I had to check my power tower here. I do believe I'm going to have to make some more of these because they're not creating charcoal quite quick enough. And I also want to hook up another minecart with booster tracks that collects the charcoal and brings it into this room, so this can all kind of be automated a bit. And I was trying to use these to distribute into those two, because that was the first two I had set up. But unfortunately, even though the neck of the hopper is hooked into those, this one still pulls it out of there, so it still doesn't quite work that way. But what I'm planning on doing is running a pipe along the back of all of them and just have one hopper that this will drop into when it comes from the coke ovens. I just haven't worked that all out yet. Last time I ran a forestry farm, which I need to go check on. Oh, by the way, last time I came in here, I got scared crapless. There was a charge creeper standing right here. I don't know if it spawned or it has been raining, so I don't know if he actually just walked down here or what, because he got struck by lightning, but that scared the hell out of me. Thought I was going to have a explosion near my new tree farm and blow up all my progress. But basically, this is what I've been working on for the last few hours, trying to get all set up. And I'm actually recording this episode in the afternoon That way I have a little extra time to work on it without needing to try to record in the middle of the progress. I wanted to kind of show this step of it and didn't want to have too much jumbled all into one episode. Kind of split it up a little bit. So I might actually have a video tomorrow, which I usually don't, but I might actually put one out earlier today and then put another one out tomorrow afternoon, just to mess your guys' schedules up a little bit. Alright, so this one's staying full pressure, nothing else has changed. This one's overpressured because I forgot to put the pipe up there because, you know, bear screws up occasionally. But everything's staying proper pressure. Crap. Well, it is still looking like it's staying even, but in loading that last one, we have dropped all the 900 we had out. This is about 1200. Let's go ahead and inject a little bit of distilled water in here. So one thing that kind of stinks about having to use this turbine, which again I'm hoping Greg will rectify very soon, is that we don't have a turbine for Gregtech. Alright, now this thing should be pulling water out of there and putting it in that pipe whenever it can, which should let this go up a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's managing to put any in, so it must be staying pretty full pressure. And I'm just going to leave that there for a emergency backup. I might actually end up setting up another distillery just to fill drums for the backup. That is about it. I want to show you what my other reasoning for the extruder is. It took me a little while to figure this out, so figure out. I thought I made it. Oh, I made small. It's supposed to be tiny. Daggone it. Made the wrong one. But anyways, the other extruder shape that I need is this one. That is a block, and that is the only way to make a solid block of metal that I have found so far. And if you look at iron, see if we can find it here. Where's it at? Right there. Shaft, iron. We're not using metal former anymore, so we need the roll former to make an iron shaft, which is used for different things, but mainly it's used to make the kinetic gearbox rotor iron or the steel. And I'm going to go with the steel because, you know, what's the difference between iron and steel but a little bit of carbon. So to make that, I actually need a block of solid iron. And the only way to do that is iron in an extruder, or, you know, generifying some other solid iron block, which still has to be made in here. So that is my other reason for needing this extruder, is so I can make this solid block of iron so I can make me bigger and better rotors, which I'm probably going to make one steel for the top and then still use wood for the lower ones. Because if it doesn't get enough air pressure, it won't be able to turn it. You'll get higher power out of the steel, but when there's low winds, you'll get nothing. And so I'd rather have the two small ones to get me a little bit, and then the one steel one for any other time. And I have no iron up here. So anyways, I will let you guys go for the day. I still haven't got my Buildcraft distillery made so I can make some fuel. I've got oil all over in this desert that I could be using, but I was hoping to use Gregtech to do so. But since he's not using the distillery to make fuel, it's going to be quite a while. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just make me a Buildcraft distillery so I can go ahead and burn some to get some extra power. Because all these machines are really starting to suck up power. And I ran into a couple recipes where I need to upgrade some of my machines, which means they are going to suck even more power, which I'm not actually going to upgrade them, meaning taking out the old ones, putting in new ones. I'm going to make new ones for the operation that they need. That way for like centrifuging ore or dust, I will still use this one, but I will use the steel version for the recipes that call for it. That way I'm not running too much. Now, to me, that should work. You should be able to put the whole block in there. All right, now why do you not want to work? For goodness sakes. I swear that's it needed. The regular 96. It does. 96, 9 ingots, extruder. What the heck is its problem? That is exactly what it calls for. Why is it not going? Oh, shut up, everybody. Turn the power on. It'll work. Junior, if you laugh over there, I'm going to slap you. Damn kids. Swear. Gotta love them. I can't believe I did that. I'm so used to these machines all having this automatic power thing. I'm not used to having to switch it on anymore. I need to get some more of them switches made. I've got the aluminum now, and I've got my little circuit fabricator thing here set up, so all I gotta do is dump the parts in. So I got it. I just ain't got the time to do it at the moment yet. So I'm gonna need to get onto that, and good God, this is gonna take forever. Good thing I got plenty of power up there. Anyways, I got to get off of here, get back to keeping an eye on these boilers until I get everything set up, because when I died the other day from trying to test that phosphorus, I lost my good igniter. So now I have to use this split and tinder again, so I don't want to waste a bunch of iron trying to make these to keep these things lit. I want to try to keep them going this way. So have a good one, take it easy, and I will see you next time.